Good morning, Deep Jyot. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm really good, thank you. I'm so excited to meet you and to help you out here. Thank you for sending me the product photos that you have.
Thank you so much for offering to help me. I'm really grateful.
Oh yes, I'm excited. Deep Jyot, I'd just let you know that like a little bit about myself. I am currently a professional photographer and an entrepreneur. So I have a restaurant group of 3 restaurants. And the way I became a photographer was because we needed a lot of restaurant photos and it was getting really expensive really quickly. And I was curious about photography, so I learned how to do it, and I've been doing it now for about 10 years. And
Wow.
6 years ago, some people started to notice and like the photos that I took, so they started to ask me to help them, and so it turned into its own thing, and that's how I got into it. So I'm not classically trained, but I figured out a lot of things over the years. So yeah.
That's so nice to know.
Yeah. So I'm going to share my screen here, I think, like this. And I am going to go to some of the photos. Can you see that there, Deep Jyot?
No, I'm unable
Here.
to. Yes,
Uh,
no.
Now you can see it? Okay. So these are the photos that you sent me that you've been working on. So this is what we're looking to improve on. So we've got your new snack here, the fenugreek munch.
Right.
And it looks here like you have, let me close some of these. It looks here like you bought one of those little like light box setups, I imagine.
Yes, I did. I did buy it.
Okay. And it looks like it came with a green. Did it come with a green and a white backdrop?
Green. This is green. Then it,
Uh,
it had white and cream, um, red, black, blue. So these were the colors. So
Okay, but
I tried it.
you just gave it a go. And then so when you are, here, I'm just gonna come back to here. When you are setting this up, like you were
Mhm.
just giving it a try, are the lights coming from both directions or are they just coming from the top, or what's going on with it?
Just from the top.
Just
Like,
from the top.
yeah.
So is there lights added into this setup,
Uh,
or is it the lights in your room that you're using?
so there is a light in the room that I'm using, and I guess there is some light inside the light box too.
Okay. So I would say the first problem with what's happening here, and probably the reason that you don't like it or
Mm-hmm.
that you're like getting frustrated with it, is because the product is too big for the space that you're trying to shoot it in.
Okay.
So you need more space around a product of this size so that you can kind of play with it. What happens with, and you're shooting it with your phone, your smartphone?
Yes, yes,
Okay. Is it it looks like it could be a relatively newer phone.
yes. It's the newest version of iPhone.
Okay, you're good. I will tell you right now, take really, really good care of that lens. That lens is going to be as good as the photos that you get out of it. Like no matter how many megapixels, if you have a scratch lens, it doesn't matter how expensive the phone is. So just make sure that you get a proper cover so that you can cover up that lens, and then always use those like those sunglass cloths to give it a little wipe before you start shooting, because your lens has to be like clean and never scratched, and then you're going to get much better photos. Um, so this would be good if you're just shooting like the snacks by themselves. You could probably get away with shooting on a backdrop or a light box like this, but for the package itself, you're going to want to have more space to shoot in. Um, you can probably just go get one of those big pieces from the dollar store, those big white papers. Like you could just go to the back of the dollar store and you grab like those, people write garage sale on them all the time or whatever, just a plain piece of white or red or whatever color paper.
Okay.
Um, Probably white to start with, because then you can
Okay.
swap out your backgrounds digitally.
Okay.
It's really bright in here, but I kind of set up a version of it in oh no, of course the sun's coming in. Okay, so you'll notice that I have one set up
Yeah,
here.
I can see that.
So this is a shiny version. I wouldn't advise getting shiny. The reason I have shiny is because I was working with some like melty products, things that were wet and it would have ruined the backdrop. So this is just what I have right now.
Okay.
But just tape it to your wall
Okay.
and then tape it to your table. And what you want is you want like a swooping, kind of sweeping background like this. And what that does is it makes it so you can't see like the chopped seam in the background when you're taking a product photo. So you just set up a nice swooping piece of paper. And now my son is coming in. One sec. The sun's just coming up here. So you're going to want to be near a large window.
Okay.
And probably not direct sunlight. So if you're in direct sunlight and the light, you'll want the light to come from the side, not from the front. You can probably do the back for some like dramatic type photos. If you ever wanted to do something like that, you could do some like different backlit photos, but they're not great for product shots. So you're going to want it to come from the side or even slightly from an angle. So you can always position your setup to match where you want your light to direct from.
Okay.
So with that said, you're going to have your nice plain background that takes up lots of white space. You're going to put your product in the center of the background. Okay, I'm going to actually, I don't know if this is going to be helpful, but I've got so this feels so usually have like studio stuff. So this is a little different, but I'll show you. So let's say you have your product right here. You're just going to put that in the center and you're going to have, when you bring your camera into it, you're going to have all of this white space around your camera to play with.
Okay.
Now, the reason that's good for most phone setups is because you only want to use the cameras on your phone the way they're designed. As soon as you pinch, if it's not swapping over to the other camera, because you know how some of them have like the 2 or 3 cameras on the back?
Yes.
Is that what yours has?
Yes.
Okay, so that's good. Don't pinch to zoom. Use the 1 time, 2 time, 3 time instead.
Okay.
So if you pinch, you're losing megapixels and you don't want to lose the resolution. Like you want it to be as sharp as possible.
Correct.
If you can't get your background in it, like if your background is too small and like the zooming isn't working for eliminating the edges, you can always crop afterwards, but don't crop while you're taking it. That's pretty much it. So you've got your light coming in from the side, you've got your background, and then you're going to bounce light on the other side. So you're going to take another piece of white paper, like just like a hard board. It can be anything, like it can be I don't know, it can be a bed sheet, it can be something shiny like aluminum, like you've seen those reflectors before, but you want to bounce light coming from the sun to eliminate the shadows on the product for just a basic product shot. So you got your soft light coming in, you've got your product there, and then you've got your light bouncing. That's your basic setup. That's going to be 99% of what you do.
Okay, I have a question here.
Yep.
Where do I put this hardboard?
It's opposite the sun. So if I'm setting up right here like this, and we've got your product there,
Right.
sun is coming from here,
Right.
although it's not, let's just say it is. The sun's coming from here. You're going to put this here, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. So then you're like, oh my goodness, I'm attached. 1 second. Yeah, can you see that?
Yes, I can see that.
Okay, and so then you're bouncing light off. Now you might have to, because of how light bounces, instead of looking at the board when you're setting this up, you're going to want to look at the product. So just because of where the screen is right now, let's pretend the light is coming from this direction and I'm setting up the board here. So you can put the board like this, but you can also get someone to come and help you and then tilt the board. So say the sun is coming from way high up in the sky, you might need to tilt the board in order to get that bounce light onto the product. So you can set it up and you can just kind of put things in there to hold it in place. Or if you have like clothespins or something, you just make sure that the product looks good. It doesn't matter what the setup looks like as long as the product is looking nice. And then that's going to really help. So you're bouncing from one direction and then you're and you're getting the light from another direction. So the product is lit from two sides now. And then you have this nice white seamless background. That's going to be your basic product shot.
Okay.
And then once you have that, like your listings, I don't know if you're on Shopify or Amazon or something else, then like that's probably going to be what you're using most of the time, what your clients are going to see. And you're going to want to do that for every angle. So you'll do the front of your package, the back of your package. And then if you want to get fancy, you can take a couple of crackers or snacks out
Yeah.
and then place them next to the package so that they're not blocking view of anything and go from there.
Okay.
Yeah, so that'll be a good start. I'll show you a couple more examples here. Let's see, I have just some plain. So here's a plain product shot. Just make sure you can you see that okay?
Yes, I can.
Oh, I've been, you can see that little cocoa caramel package?
No, I can only see my own products
Okay.
image.
Well, that's okay. I'm going to go like this and okay, and then I'm going to go find my window here. Okay, can you see this one now? So this is a basic product shot, but this, can you see this one okay, Deep Joe?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So this is just a basic product shot with the white seamless background and then the light bouncing on either side of it. And then in post-production, and you can do this in your little like mobile apps. I'm sure you can edit right in iPhoto, or you can have like Express Lightroom or Express Photoshop, and you can just eliminate backgrounds. I think you can even do it in Canva. You can just clear out the background and just go plain white. So you've got this nice lighting from the front. The product speaks for itself, and then you have all kinds of space around it so that it speaks for itself. And then that's just kind of the goal for getting it. And then in post-production, you can up your saturation, up your contrast, and you can reduce highlights and reduce shadows slightly. And then that'll be a good little poppy but true to life image for you to start with. And like I said, the better the lens, the better the camera, the better the shots, but you can get so far along the way there with this kind of setup.
Got it.
Yeah. And I don't know if you're going to attempt lifestyle shots, like if you're going to start staging things or anything like that. Were you hoping to do something like that too?
Like that, what does that mean? Sorry.
Like, have you ever seen the kinds of shots where it's not just the product, but it's props added to the product?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about that, but I did not get any idea as such.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's I've noticed that your product is like the hues are very like pale. Like there's lots of browns and the product itself is brown. So in order to bring color into the mix, you could always do what's called a flat lay. So a flat lay is those photos that you take from overhead, and it looks like there's all these cute things in the photo. Do you know which ones I'm talking about? Here, I'll show you an example on my thing here. I feel like this could be an example here. So with this one, so this shot was taken from overhead. So this is a whole bunch of different products that this Live Easy sells, this soap company that I worked with. So what we did is it just kind of arranged them in a little arrangement, and then we took the photo like as a bird's eye view. And as you can see, there's like a little towel in the corner and a little plant in the corner, and you can kind of frame your product. So if you're enjoying your snack with tea, you could put like a cup of tea and maybe some tea leaves, and then you could lay down your product and maybe have a couple of them peeking out of the bag, and then a pretty napkin or a pretty plate with a few more, maybe one with a bite out of it. And you can lay it all flat. You do the same lighting setup that we just talked about. So you've got your light, you've got your bounce, and you've got your nice clean backdrop. But instead of taking the photo from here, you're going to take the photo from above. Okay. And then you can have shots like this, and you can move things around, and you can bring in new props. Like you can put earbuds in, or you could put in, you know, like little towels. You can put plants in there. You can put all kinds of things in there. And then you have all of this content, but just one setup, and you just switch the props out. Switch up the plate, which I don't know if I'm overwhelming you or if this is like a lot, but it's just like different ideas with
Yeah.
the same setup.
Yeah. No. It's really useful. I'm already thinking of some of the ideas.
Yeah. When it comes to this kind of thing, I like to think if the props fit your brand and your messaging and the colors fit the style of what you want to do, then it's fair game. Like you can go for it. So if you think like dark, rich, deep woods, or you know, like I don't know, like kind of like a richness, like candles and things like that, then those are like really pretty things to add in there. And if it looks silly, just take it out, put something else in, try something new. You can play with composition. So think of it as, I don't know if you draw or if you're artistic in any way, but when you draw a picture, you're kind of deciding what to put on the page where. And if you imagine a photograph, like you've got your photograph is like this. If I were to take my finger and I put the photo like three-dimensionally on my finger, if it tips in one direction, your composition is off.
Okay.
But if it balances kind of like in all of these different directions, then your composition is accurate. Do you follow? So you can put your product in one corner of the frame, and then you put like maybe some plants and some of the little accessories in the other corner of the frame, and then that would balance. But if you put everything off to one side, it would tip off. So just try to think of it that way when you're putting it together, and then you should have a well-balanced image that feels good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, I can try that.
Yeah, so I think that's a big starting place. I'm just trying to think. When you are taking the actual product photo, I forgot to tell you this part. When you're taking the actual product photo, bring your iPhone down. Don't take it from up here. This is like our natural way to want to take a photo is from our chest, wherever we're standing, like whatever our eye feels comfortable seeing. Bring your photo down to the level of the product and take it from there, like straight on. Because otherwise you're going to start, if you take it from there, your lines on your package are going to be nice and straight. If you go up, your lines are going to start to do this.
Yeah.
And we don't like that, like for product photos. And we don't like that for, you know, it's uncomfortable and it doesn't feel right. So you want your lines to be nice and straight. So you bring your camera down and then you're oriented with the product and your lines are going to be nice and straight. That's going to make a big difference too.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a starting place. Email me, message me if you run into trouble. But I think you're going to find that you're like, take your photos from here to here by just doing those things.
Okay. Yeah, I'll first of all try that background thing, like putting on some piece of paper and then, you know, bouncing off the sunlight and try with that. And then I'll try with some props or something. I'll do it today itself because I'm stuck on the images. I'll have to get through that. So
that window is your best friend. The window is going to be, oh, and make sure all the lights in the room are off. You only want the window. Yeah, you only want the window.
Okay.
Because the lights in the room they can be yellow. If they're fluorescent, they can be blue. They can be all over the map, and it'll reflect on your product. If you go to a nightclub or if you go to a concert, do you know how you like look over at your friend and they're red or they're green? It's because of the light. So the same thing is happening here in your home studio. So if there's a slight yellow, even though your product is white or whatever, it'll slightly change the color and then it's going to look different to everybody else. So you want to have the sunlight is going to be the best option if you don't have the budget to buy all the other stuff. So
not right now, maybe later.
That's okay. This will get you through to there, and then you'll be doing so well. Then you'll need a photographer, right?
That's so nice of you to say that. Okay, I have one more question. So my package is like it's white. If you see, right, this is white, and if I put it like above the white background, like, do you think it will melange?
Yeah, white is okay. Um, White is okay. It is going to get a little bit lost in the background. So
Hmm.
you can I would do two versions and then just see what you like the most. You have to keep in mind that when something's going to be really bright on, like, say, like a black background, the black is all of a sudden going to kind of start to look gray. So you might have to tweak it in post-production. So you can definitely try both. In my mind, I'm seeing your product and I would want to put it against wood. Like, I would want to get if you don't leave home without your product, always have it in your bag, because if you're walking around and you see something like, oh my gosh, that would make the best product or the
Mhm.
best shot, then you
Mhm.
can just snag a shot of it. I'm going to show you now. I want to show you something else here, because when I talk, I just think in pictures. Um, one sec. No, I don't want to share this window. I want to share this window. Oops, it's showing my whole screen now. Let's go over here. Okay, so I don't know if you know Jules, who's in the group.
Jules
Jules,
is.
yeah. So she's selling Gutastic here. Here, I'm gonna go closer. Present, allow to share a window. Clearly really good at this part. Okay. So this is like a nice little example of like walking around with your product and then thinking, oh, this would be such a good spot to shoot it. So this is just behind my house. Like, this is my garage door on the outside. And that's like my sister. And I said, put on a blazer. So we did this shot for her. But these are great because if you put your camera into portrait mode and you take your f-stop and you make it really low, like 2.0 or 1.4, you can do these shots where you just hold it and then you bring some life into it. So it doesn't have to be a person's face or anything. So say you're walking around and you want to get a shot, you can put it on a park bench and then have someone sitting in the background, or you can put it next to a really colorful wall. Or you can put it next to, I don't know, if you see someone with lots of tattoos on their hand, they can hold it. Like, there's so many different ways to present it that can be interesting and bring life to it. So always have it with you. And then if you see a photo op, at least you have the product with you and you can take a photo of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have lakeshore close to our home, so probably I can go. So it's a very nice, beautiful view, like blue waters and blue sky. So it's very nice view. So probably something can work over there too.
Yeah, for sure. And then keep the same light in mind, right? So you want to have nice, soft light coming in from the side, even if you're outside. Because
Okay.
then if you're outside, then you're going to have like a nice flattering. And then you can also play with it too. So say you're at a park bench, you put it on the park bench or on the table and you have some trees and lake in the background,
Yeah.
just rotate it and take it from different angles. And you're going to find that there's like a sweet spot. And then you use that photo. So
Oh,
don't just take one and say, oh, this is the photo. Move around it and move the product around the light, not just the surroundings. And then you might be able to get something that's a little better than what your first idea was.
got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very useful tips.
Yeah, good. Okay, I can't wait to see what you come up with. And then I'll probably have more ideas when I see what you come up with.
Yes,
But
yes, definitely, definitely. I'm thinking of going outdoors today, clicking some pictures, and I'll share with you, and you can share your feedback to me.
yeah, sounds
I
good.
I'll try. I have to get over this as soon as possible because I have to get my listing up very soon.
Yeah, this will be good. And then there's like all kinds of post-production tips or whatever. But basically, you just want to eliminate that background, let the product speak for itself. Just a clean image is all you
Yes,
need. Yeah.
got it, got it. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
take care of your
you.
lens. Yeah.
Yes, I will. Yeah,
Okay, we'll talk soon. That was
sure.
awesome. Okay.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Oh yeah,
Bye.
you too. Bye.